Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back with another Ferrero Friday project, and this is a refilming of this project. Last time I filmed it, unfortunately it was all out of focus due to the fact that I'd knocked it off autofocus on my way back from holiday and hadn't spotted it. So apologies for that. I think you could probably still see most of what was going on, but I thought I'd refilm it for you so that you can see it in all its glory. So these are the boxes we're making. The design isn't actually mine in terms of the style of box. It's actually one that was designed by Sam Hammond, Poodles, who's my team leader, and but I've resized it for Ferrero. Hers was originally for tea lights, and the pretty thing about this is that it opens diagonally, and then the box actually rests open, as you can see there, for a display, and it holds for Ferrero, obviously. This one has got a little bit of a ribbon tied around it, which you could use to keep it closed if you want to, and I'm using the new Pretty Label punch as well to decorate. So let's see if I can get it right this time. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I will zoom out so you can see the measurements, and we're going to start off with our cut box base, and I'm using Fresh Fig here, and this is 14 by 14 centimetres. So the dimensions are on my blog in both centimetres and inches. So you're going to score at 3.5 on all four sides for this. So just line up at 3.5. That's that done there. That's our base ready scored. For our lid, you want a piece of cardstock that is 14.2 by 14.2, and again you're going to score on all four sides at 3.5 centimetres. And this is the lovely lemon lime twist, which works really well with all of the colours. So that's all the scoring you're going to be doing. The next thing is, as usual with boxes, we are going to reinforce. Oh no, it isn't all the scoring. I've got to do one more bit of scoring on the lid. So on the lid, bring my scoreboard back in. You are going to score on the top piece. You're going to score down at 5 centimetres. So at 5 centimetres, you're going to score down just to the score line. Then you're going to flip the card over, and in that same corner, at 5 centimetres, score down as well, like so. And then, where those two score lines are, you're going to line those up and score in between them. So you could do that with a ruler if you wanted. Okay, now we've finished. Now you can fold and reinforce those score lines. Okay, and do that on both the base and the top. Doing them in two different colours does help you differentiate, but obviously you've got the extra score lines on the other one. And then again, we're just doing a square box, so very easy to construct. You're just going to cut in all four corners. And again, because it's a square box, remember we do our sort of cartwheel effect, so just a quarter turn, like so. It's sometimes difficult to see on the darker card. There we go. So that's our box base. It's a box base, so we're going to use fuse because we've got some, card that's going to try and spring apart. Just a bit of fuse just on the edge and another bit further in on the tab, and do that on all four of those, and then just literally line up in each corner. And there's our box base. And then to make our lid, you'll see, I'll show you on this one, exactly the same effect, but we're going to trim in the one corner a little bit more. So this is going to be our cut, but we're also cutting up this line here. So because that's where it's going to part, we just need to trim that corner like so. Okay, the rest of the corners are the same. So just wedging, cutting a wedge out of those corners just to help those fit in nice and snugly. And before we construct this, we're going to add our decoration in terms of the DSP. So this is our piece of card. Because we're just doing flat to flat, just zoom in a little bit now. This is a piece of DSP. That's run out. Okay, I've got my fuse handy. Wouldn't normally use fuse for this bit, but as it was here and handy. And this is from the Oh So Eclectic, the eclectic DSP that goes with it. And this is 6.7 by 6.7, and the side pieces are again 6.7, but those are just by 3 centimetres. Just and I'll show you what we're going to do. Oh, I haven't cut up this line here. I'm cutting up on these lines now, then I'm going to stick the DSP on the top, and then I will cut through the DSP. It's just easier to do it that way, so that you've got everything nicely lined up. And obviously I've taken my inspiration for the box colours from this DSP, which is the lovely Fresh Fig and Lemon Lime Twist. It's a paper that I kind of hadn't spotted, if that makes sense. You know, you sort of look through and I'd spotted other colours first, and then saw this when I was remaking. I thought, oh, lovely. So just come in and using that first line to do that. And then what I've also done on this one is I've rounded those corners. I find that just helps to, with getting it to a nice finish and getting a close. So just come in and corner round those 2 corners. Like so. Okay, now we're into box construction time again. So just make sure that that isn't going to overlap too much. No, it isn't. So we're going to come in round here. Get those out of the way from you. And you're going to glue the box together. So on this corner you're just gluing that little corner there. Now this is one of those occasions where I'm actually going to use some red tape to attach that to the box. So you see that just fits on there perfectly, but obviously to try and get glue, you can try and get some glue, and what you could do is obviously pop something inside like a block, and that would enable you to glue on either of those sides there, or you could use some tape. But actually that seems to be working quite well, so do you know what, I'm going to improvise and do something slightly different. So there we go. So just making sure that it's this corner that's going in there, pop our lid on and then give that a good squeeze into the corner. So that's then our lid. Now obviously our corner pops up, so this little bit here where it's creased, I'm just going to come in and just snip across there with my scissors, and it's as simple as that. So there's our box. Let's get on with our label. So using this stamp set here, which is Label Me Pretty, and it is really pretty. There's a lovely happy birthday here, so I'm just going to pop that onto one of our blocks, and I think we'll use Fresh Fig for this. And just pop that, stamp that there. Then we use our Pretty Label punch, and with all of these you just come in and line up like so. And then I'm actually going to use just a scrap of the lemon lime to do the next bit, because obviously it wouldn't show up if I stamped it as I did on my original one in black onto the coloured cardstock. So I'm just going to give my stamp a quick clean using my stamping scrub. So that's my wet side, and on my dry side, so that's nice and clean. I'm going to use a bit of basic black ink. Just give that a quick waft to dry it off. Put my ink pad away before I get covered in ink, as I usually do, as you'll know from my videos. And then all I'm going to do is just come in here and basically just cut around that outline of the happy birthday, like so. Now obviously what you could do is you could actually stamp this twice and sort of layer it up, so you could have a different layer for the ends of the banner. But this is just a little extra to go, you know, with a gift for somebody. So, here we go. It's always difficult cutting out on camera. So what I'm going to do is just trim that around. And so the little bits of flowers that are over the edges of that, you really don't notice them once it's trimmed. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just use some mini dimensionals to pop that up. Here. That's where these mini dimensionals are absolutely fantastic. Pop that up. And obviously if you wanted to, you could then colour in some of these flowers with your berry burst if you wanted to, or you could watercolour them in if you wanted. And then I'm just going to find a scrap of fresh fig, which I appear to have misplaced. Actually, I wonder if I've got a big enough piece there. Oh yes. Yes, I've just about, there you go. Lemon lime twist. There you go. So I've just about got a big enough piece to make the background for this. So literally just punch one out, cut it in half, and then just put, in this instance it's fuse, but put your glue on there, and then literally I'm going to glue myself to it. Just layer that on top, and I've done the wrong side of that one. Okay, so in this instance I'll do what I should have done, which is to actually put the glue onto the label first, so that then you can layer it easily and you won't have any glue showing. Trim any little bits that aren't quite level, like so, and then you can literally just adhere that to the top of your box, like so, or you can pop it up on dimensionals. You can then fill that box with your Ferrero Rocher, and like you can see, I'll pinch them from that other one, and then as I said, you could always add a bit of ribbon if you wanted to, but there we have a full Ferrero diamond opening box, resized to hold Ferrero instead of tea lights, and hopefully this version is in focus. So do have a go at making these yourself, and don't forget to come back and see me again soon. And if you need any Stampin' Up products, please visit my Stampin' Up shop. I'd be delighted to be your demonstrator. You can find me at heidismith.stampinup.net or follow the links on my blog. Bye for now.